Hello and welcome. I am Stacey Thomas, author, ALS advocate, film producer, and talk show host. I'm here to motivate, educate, and entertain. Join me on YouTube every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Stacey Thomas Talk Show, where we have powerful discussions centered around health, relationship, careers, and everyday conversation. Follow me on Facebook, I am Stacey Thomas, on Instagram, Stacey Thomas Talk Show. And don't forget, I can promote you too. Email me at iamstaceythomas@gmail.com. Now, it's time for the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Stacey Thomas Talk Show. Thank you for tuning in. This is part 2. If you missed last week's episode, after watching tonight's episode, I'm sure you will want to go back, head over to YouTube, catch Lesley. She's the executive director of Next Chance Transitions. Look it up on YouTube under the Stacey Thomas Show, and then come back again if you want to watch this one, and be sure to share it with someone. People come on this platform all the time, blessing other individuals, and I wouldn't want you to miss your blessing or allow someone else to miss their blessing. So let's take it up from last week. We're going to do part 2, and we're talking about resources. Hello, beautiful ladies.
Hello,
Good
beautiful.
evening.
Lesley, why is it that, you know what? I know people watch Lesley and they say Stacey's always giggling, or they can always know when I know someone and I've got love for them because I just get so tickled, Lesley. It's nice to have you back, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
And beautiful Barbara, welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's no problem. Thank you guys. So, where I'll start, Lesley, we'll start with you first and then we'll go with Barbara. Lesley, tell us what this organization means to you.
Well, first, let me apologize. I'm out and about on the run. So right now I'm in the car. As
Okay.
soon as it gets dark, I'll move my location. Uh, excuse me. Let me grab my water as well while I'm sitting here. What Next Chance Transitions means to me, it means helping people. It means helping a population that feels discouraged, that feels scared, that may not know which direction to go in, that sometimes that there's limited resources. I said on the show last week, I've been in human services for over 20 years. And so I have a passion for helping people. And so to have this opportunity to be able to help these ladies as they transition out of prison has just been tremendous, especially since I started Next Gen Transition back in 2019, and now we're finally at the point where we're making a difference in these ladies' lives.
Wow. Wow. And Barbara, how did you become a part of such an amazing thing that's going on?
It was just a question I couldn't turn down. The answer couldn't have been no. So Leslie and I work on a more community capacity. I'm an administrative assistant here for the department.
And she's freezing up a little, so we'll ask her to
Always in here, always positive. And she had asked me, would I mind joining the organization? And I had to say yes. So it's just a
Oh,
simple question of, can you give your time for service?
wow. Well, you were frozen there for a second, and I think what you were getting ready to tell us was very important about, you said you were an admin doing what?
Sure, I'm an administrative assistant for the Department of Veteran Services. So here in Petersburg, I'm located in the Virginia Community Resource Center. So Leslie and I always work on a more community-based service together. And then one day she just came in and asked me, this was her mission, this was her passion, and would I be a part of that? And I could not say no. I had to say yes.
You two ladies are among that. We don't have many people in this world that believe in advocating and fighting for other individuals. So for you both to have professional careers helping people and not allowing that to drain you. And you still have this that you're doing for women. Lesley,
Hmm.
what keeps you going?
Um, just to be in a space to be able to help somebody who may be less fortunate, or somebody who doesn't have the resources or doesn't know how to access the resources. But again, it goes back to that passion for being able to help other people.
Wow. And Barbara, my man is a veteran. I've been up to the VA. I see what's going on. I hear the stories from him and I hear the stories from other veterans. How are you not drained yourself?
You got to serve. You got to serve who served our country. It's just, and it's a diverse group that goes to the VA. So here in Petersburg, we get a lot of veterans that are now referred to their home area, and we want to serve them right here where they live. To always, I'm an Army brat, so I can't relate to the challenges because my dad had it down pat, right?
Okay.
But that love of his comrades, the friends he had, the stories they tell, you can't put that experience in words. If they could tell the war part but can't tell the grief part, sometimes you just got to cut the business out and just be a listening ear. So what keeps me going for that is just knowing I'm touching each and every one here in our Tri-City area. Sometimes they come from out of, our Tri-City area just to be in a place because they were referred to us here. So it's a word of mouth, and your reputation goes very far if it's a bad reputation,
Right.
but I can say the same for us. Here is a great reputation. They tell each other, like, go to Petersburg, that location is centrally located. And that's what keeps me going, knowing that we get that 5-star rating over and over and over again. It's like, I can keep going. I can keep going.
Wow. It's nice to know that you guys are in
Mhm.
Petersburg, because a lot of times, because I'm from this area, a lot of times people think the help they need is outside of Petersburg. And then they go through things like with not having transportation, not knowing who to talk to. And here you are, Barbara. And I hope we have a lot of local people that see this that can pass the word that you are in Petersburg. Now, I didn't plan to ask this, but with everything going on for you ladies, and are you afraid? I'm just going to say this. Are you afraid that all the changes that are being made with funding is going to affect what you ladies are doing?
So Stacey, I just want to answer real quick because I want to piggyback on the first question, the first or the second question that you asked, like what keeps me passionate. And I have to say, um, having God in my life keeps me passionate. Because I think about the countless times that, it's like it's not working, it's not happening, and all these doors that He continues to open for me and for next gen transitions. To answer your next question about funding, of course, I'm concerned. I don't want to say that I'm scared or I'm nervous because God always makes a way, but of course, I'm concerned because he had Trump has not been in office 4 good months, and there are just so many changes that have been made that impact us on so many different levels. So I'm concerned, but I still just, go back to my faith and that God will continue to make a way, because right now where we're at with next gen transitions, um what we're doing is based on people giving, people donating. And so we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're getting the grant. So right now we have a lot of people who continue to support and pour into Next Gen Transition. And Barbara has just been amazing in connecting us to like multiple resources.
I know you said Barbara is very knowledgeable. You told me that last week when I asked you about resources.
Hmm.
Barbara, even with your resources, are you fearful? Can you hear me, Barbara? Let's see. hear her. Barbara. Oh, maybe her volume went down. Well, Lesley, excuse me. What I didn't ask, I'm sorry. I should have hit mute. I'm always coughing. Barbara, can you hear me?
Barbara. Barbara.
I can't hear.
I
Yeah.
can hear you. Say something, Barbara.
Yeah,
So
she
I
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
her, but she can't hear us. Okay. So, Lesley, what I did not ask you, if Barbara, if you can hear me, maybe go out and come back in.
Or check your volume. Oh,
Check your volume. Look at me. Lesley, what I didn't ask you last week before we get into the resources,
uh-huh.
Lesley, was do you ever get a chance to meet the women that you ladies help?
I have. So, another member on my team, Sandy Wag, she and I have access to the prison, so we're able to go in. The first set of ladies we met, I don't think that group was actually getting the donations. But we were able to have a conversation to ask them, well, what are the things that you need? We've got a list. Does this make sense to you? Is this something that you feel like you need? And just was yesterday, one of the prisons that we donate to, they had a graduation. So I didn't get to talk to them. Again, it was a graduation. I really didn't have the time to go and speak with them, but I was able to see each and every person that will be getting those donations. So
Okay.
there are times where we're able to kind of interact with them because, again, I have access to be able to go into the prisons. I also there was one donation drop off where I met two of the ladies who would be getting out, but they weren't getting the donations that we had actually dropped off.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Barbara, you back with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So what I wanted to act, what I was asking you, Barbara, was so I know we all have different beliefs. And Lesley said what keeps her going. Are you fearful of what's going on with the funding, or what? How do you feel about what's going on?
My outlook is basically it's the people. It's the people that find it in their heart to give that extra $5. We talk all the time how God works for us, and I have to give him that glory. I don't have any problem if the people we serve do not worship anything. We do know sometimes what we step in and do, what Lesley steps in and do, maybe that change just for them to say, hey, someone cares, and they not judging me. They have no clue what I've done. They don't care
Mhm.
what I've done. They're here for when I'm re-entering the community, because the community is a challenge all on its own. Just the fear for them. So funding for me, what I think, it's neither here nor there. If it's a will, it's a way. It's going to happen, whether we have grant money or not.
I
The
love
people
it. I love it.
the people are speaking up and helping out.
I love it. I love it. So you guys, you're providing things for the women when they're transitioning from prison. I believe you said like hygiene,
Mhm.
maybe clothing,
Coats.
hopes.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're staying away from the clothing.
Okay. Okay. So you are helping them with the personal hygiene, things that I believe we really need, right?
Mhm.
What other resources are there? And we can start with you, Lesley, and come back to
Okay.
Barbara, or you, whoever wants to answer. What resources can they get that they can't get from you that you know where to send them to?
I'll let Barbara take this one.
Okay. So depending on where they're going home to. So if they're coming to our area, we can refer them to their local resources. So one of the things I like to say, the reason why we don't worry about clothes, because there are plenty of other organizations that do. There's no need
Okay.
reinventing the wheel just for us. We're
Okay.
going to tap and network with everything and every organization, whether it's for profit, not for profit, that is geared for reentry. That's how it works. When we meet them and we give them a hygiene packet, that's just that initial, like, hey, I can at least walk into this shelter, or I can walk into this organization that NCT has referred us to, knowing they've already made a warm handoff. So once they get there, We try to focus on, our goal is the entire state and beyond, but we're going to be humble and say right here on ground zero, we already will be able to help them get to the food pantry, understand where food resources are, because most of the ladies that come out, they don't have backup at home. They're probably going into a halfway house or another type of temporary situation, and they have to re-navigate just getting a photo ID, just
Mm-hmm.
the basic things that we take for granted every day. They don't have. They don't even have a connection with their family sometimes. So we want to make sure that they know where to go. This is where to go. Here's a guide to it. Here's your local social services. And, I can only speak for Petersburg. If you come down to Petersburg Social Services, they're literally in our building Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you come and they're not here, you're not going to leave out of here empty-handed. We're going to give you every resource possible that you're entitled to. And then, from housing to food resources to employment, we
So,
want to be there for them.
and that's the one of the main things I wanted to ask you about, was the housing.
Mhm.
So this information, right? So never been to prison, hope I never go to prison, but for those that are in prison and they're about to get out, is there someone giving them your names, giving them the name of organizations that they can connect with? Or does it take them connecting to you guys on their own to find out, hey, can I find somewhere to sleep until I get myself together? How do I get food? At what point do they learn that there's help?
So they actually get that information, Stacy, while they're in prison.
Okay.
So they may get a list of transitional housing in the area that they live in Richmond and Petersburg. They'll get a list of maybe food pantries and things like that. They'll get a list of who their parole officers are. And then once they get out, um, then of course they can connect to those different resources. So what we provide is provide a list of things that or resources that they can connect to. Something that's pretty much standard across several states is going to be social services, because a lot
Okay.
of people leaving prison have Medicaid. A lot of people leaving prison are going to apply for SNAP benefits or food stamps. um, Workforce agencies. There are a lot of workforce agencies in various states, community colleges. So that's pretty much, I would say, standard. There's a website that we give them. It's called fairshake.net. So we give them that information. But yes, resources start in the prison as they connect with, which is what I was when I worked in the prison. I was a workforce development specialist. If they're connecting with their counselor. So again, as I stated, those resources do start in the prison, but they also have a lot of different resource fairs. So the prisons, in those prisons, the workforce development specialists, they host a resource fair twice a year. And so what they do is they have resources within that state or within that city, and they come out and they share those different resources. They also have what's called topical sessions. So that's pretty much a one-on-one. So for instance, I have a topical session coming up. And so I will tell them about my 9 to 5. And then I can also throw in there, well, hey, I'm also the executive director of Next Gen Transitions, and this is what we offer.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. And Barbara,
Yes.
you're downtown Petersburg.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you, Barbara, you're doing a job, you're working for the Veterans Administration, but if someone sees this show and someone goes looking for Barbara, is it does it make it difficult if they walk in and say, how can I get your information?
No, not at all. Not
No.
at all. I wear so many hats here. So our facility is unique anyway. It's the first hybrid of its kind. It serves the veterans and the community.
Okay.
So I started as the receptionist. I'm still the receptionist. I just bounce around a lot. I wear a lot of hats here. And one of the needs that we realized that we didn't have really a position for was a resource specialist for the community.
Okay.
So when the person would walk in here, say they're a reentry female, they walk in, doesn't really matter where they're from. Once they meet me and they start saying what they don't have, I start connecting. It's just as simple as that. I just start connecting. Sometimes we'll realize someone who's incarcerated are veterans. We have that here. We have veteran family support when they need employment. We have the V3 team, Virginia Value Veterans. The veterans part is like planned, perfectly planned for even a reentry veteran. Okay. I've tried to duplicate that for the community side. And I have a great example to go by because they're here. So by me having the freedom, because I have a wonderful organization, wonderful director, first of all, shout out Donna Williams.
Okay.
She gave me the platform to be able to spend more time with the person that comes in the building so I can hear what they need and try to refer them and resource them to the agencies that are already here. Like we said about clothing, I can give them a list to get clothing, period, without a hesitation. We give them a list. We have landlords. Petersburg is full of landlords. Hopewell, Dinwiddie, Chester. They're full of private homeowners that rent rooms out, that they have transitional housing, and we refer them to them. It's their choice. If it's a good fit, they have that power. Even if they needed food, we have a food pantry here. So we find out what you're allergic to, how what you need, select your food, and you take that with you on the spot. I mean,
You,
I'm
you
trying.
two ladies, you two ladies, and these connections and the knowledge that you have, and the heart that you have for helping and giving, you both are amazing. I don't know how often you hear thank you, but thank you. I
Thank you.
It makes me feel good to know that you're in Petersburg, Barbara. It makes me feel good to know that you're in Richmond, Lesley. I'm wishing you guys the very best. I have on the screen rvatransition@gmail.com. Are people only contacting you through that email for donations to see what they can give? Or is that the email they can find out what other resources you have to share with them also?
Most people have actually reached out on Facebook.
Okay.
Saying, "Hey, I want to donate. How can I donate?" A lot of people have called me personally, so I try to make sure I'm sharing my telephone number to make sure that people get in touch with us. And then, just seeing the posts that I put out there, the information that we share, people respond to that, and I'm hoping that Barbara can tell this really great story of her being engaged.
Barbara, please share.
Sure, sure, sure. So one day we're trying to buy shampoo and body wash and things like that. And I'm in line and I'm buying all these bottles. And it was about two or three ladies behind me. And I'm just loading them on the counter. And usually people that you see do that, they're either big couponers, right?
Right,
So I got
right.
like 10, 12 bottles of that. And these ladies were like listening to me, and I'll talk to the cashier, and they wind up walking up saying, "Hey, we love what you're doing. We admire what outreach you're doing. We'll pay for that." They just
Giving
the
me chills.
yep. I mean, it just happens. If it's meant to be, it's gonna happen.
And look, y'all giving me chills, but isn't it something when you're reminded that there are good people in the world,
Mhm.
that God is still in control,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but this social media thing, something surprised me one day. So my sister said there was a college student that didn't have any winter clothes. And I said, well, what size? I'll try to put something on Facebook, right? I was amazed
Mhm.
at the women that reached out to say, hey, I can give you this, I can give you that. And I'm just like, there are people watching, there are people that want to help.
Mhm.
And I guess what they say, a closed mouth don't get fed. We have to
That's
speak
right.
up. We
That's
have
right.
to speak up. Ladies, is there anything that Stacey hasn't asked you? Because I know I ask a lot, but I miss things that you need to share before we go that is like very important for others to know.
Something that I do want to say is that when we started getting the donations in initially, there was always a question of, well, what's the deadline or how soon do you need it? This is something that is ongoing. It's not a one and done. So we're always in need of various things. Right now, we're in need of body wash. shampoo, conditioner, lotion. Right now, those are the main things that we need to be able to help these ladies. And unfortunately, I never remember the ounces that we have. Well, I don't want to say have to have, but the ounces that we prefer, and that's because DOC wants one size. They don't want a trial size here and a bigger size here because they want all the ladies to have the same thing. So we're just asking for people to continue to pour into what we're doing, whether you want to donate, um, monetarily, if you want to donate an item, um, if you're sharing what we're doing. But that's right now we're just in need in building this inventory so that as I get these requests in from these ladies, that we have the things that we need. So I do want to say that right now, by the grace of God, and this is all God. I'm going to tell you, this is all God that's making this plan work. Because when we need something, we get it. Without having to do a lot of begging or asking, God opens that door for us to be able to get the things that we need in order to help them.
So tell me again so I can put this up. Look, someone said, Stacey, always putting those glasses on and taking them off. Well, you know what? Sometimes I need the glasses. So tell me again, Lesley, you said body wash, of course, monetary is
Uh-huh.
good too. What else do you need?
And Barbara may know the ounces right off the top of her head because I'm gonna be honest,
What
I
are they?
don't.
Oh,
But it's body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and lotion. Those are the four biggest things that we're in need of right now. Because
lotion.
what we put in the bags are lotion, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner. I know I'm missing something. Comb, brush. Those are the things that we normally put into the bags.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is, let's see, and I'm hoping that they call you. So needed body wash, monetary. I should have said money. Shampoo, conditioner, lotion, combs, brushes. Ask about the ounces when you contact them.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, okay.
You
You
know,
was
I
gonna say something?
I got your back. So the hair shampoo, we like to get the 18 ounce. That's usually like your size of your Dove and your Rain. Body wash, at least like the 10-ounce bottle. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, okay. So if you don't mind, Barbara, well, I don't know. You ladies make up your post, send to me, and I'll share it. Leslie,
Thank you.
okay. Barbara,
Yeah.
was there anything that Stacey didn't ask you?
I'm a shy person right now, so I'm gonna say I'm good.
Well, I thank you both for joining us. I look forward to hearing about how you're growing. Thank you again for blessing my platform. Thank you again for blessing others, thinking not only of yourselves. And I pray that all goes well. And I know that when not that anybody asks, but I have just witnessed when God has control of something,
Hmm.
we can't worry about what man has going on. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. And
Thank you.
Barbara,
Yes.
I'm wondering, I came over with someone from Virginia State, Tara Dickinson, one time for an event. And I'm wondering, did I meet you? Or did I see you? I don't know.
I think you did. So I had dreadlocks and I was about 100 pounds heavier.
Oh,
Yeah.
100 pounds heavier.
Yes.
But send me the info on what you did. I want to look cute this summer.
Run with Lesley. It'll drop off.
You ladies have a good one. And thank you again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Good
Thanks,
night.
Stacey.
Listen, everybody. There's sisters that are out here helping everybody, not looking at race, not looking at nationality, don't care what your religion is. If you have a family member in the Richmond area, at least right now, I'm not sure. If you want to know how far they go out, you need to contact them. But for now, let's save Central Virginia. Be sure to contact them. Let's see. That's the email address. And once again, I'll repeat that they are in need of body wash. You can donate money to assist them, shampoo, conditioners, lotion, combs, brushes. Contact them and ask them exactly how you can help and what they need. And until next time, don't stress too much about yesterday. Don't worry too much about tomorrow, because if you do, you just might miss living today. Have a great night, and thank you for watching.